Hey guys, welcome back to another update for my Vanguard portfolio. Stay tuned because this one is a little crazy. If you haven't been following my progression in my investing journey, you can go back and check out my earlier videos. So I started investing in Vanguard in June 2020, meaning at this point I am 1 year and 5 months into what will be a long road to financial freedom, whatever that means. So quite a few people have reached out to me to let me know that seeing my real figures invested motivates them to either keep going or start going. Now this is the reason that I started this series in the first place, and I'll continue to be 100% transparent on this channel. The truth is, it wasn't long ago that I had no idea how to invest, so I know full well the value of seeing how to practically do it and seeing that it's much simpler to do than it first seems. So as usual, before we get into it, please remember to hit the like button, and if you get any value from this video whatsoever, be sure to hit the subscribe button and the bell icon to be notified when future videos are released. So my phone has been pinging non-stop in the last couple of weeks with financial news updates all about the S&P 500. Apparently, it's at an all-time high.
The S&P 500 has set records 20 times.
The market is expecting titanic earnings expectations right now.
How much more can we get out of this? Is there more to go in this bull market?
Now, obviously, this is great news if you have exposure to the US market. And as you may have already seen in previous videos that I've made, I recently started investing into the S&P 500 separately to my index funds to build up a house fund pot. Now this has been a minor contributor to what appears to be an absolutely absurd return on my investment thus far in Vanguard, currently sitting at 33.44% year-to-date returns within my stocks and shares ISA. I seem to be benefiting from starting my investment journey just before markets started to recover and grow as it took the brunt of the COVID-19 pandemic. That being said, I do not advocate trying to time the market in any way. I have and always will invest every single month regardless of what the market is doing, whether it's an all-time high or an all-time low. This strategy, known as dollar cost averaging, along with a buy and hold mentality, is how I approach my investing. I will continue to invest the majority, around 95% of all my money in index funds, ensuring that the portfolio remains globally diversified. So in this update, I wanted to talk briefly to you about cryptocurrency, and in particular, Bitcoin. This subject has intrigued me for some time, and like its volatility, my thoughts on it have been up and down and back up again. I'm trying to understand Bitcoin as best as I can, and I would recommend reading a couple of books on the subject, regardless of whether you plan to invest in it or not. So The Bitcoin Standard by Saifedean Ammous and The Bullish Case for Bitcoin by Vijay Boyapati are great places to start. Truth is, digital money is the future, and it can't hurt having an understanding, or at least a little bit of an understanding, of how it works. You may remember last month I briefly showed you my eTORO account and the small amount of money that I had in Bitcoin. I've decided to up what I'm holding in Bitcoin and open an account with the cryptocurrency exchange Binance. So the Bitcoin in here accounts for the other 5% of my portfolio. So 95% index funds, 5% cryptocurrency. And I'm going to always rebalance to ensure that it remains that same sort of ratio and percentage. I must say I've been pretty impressed with Binance so far. The app is very simple to use and it's user friendly. Stay tuned, I will do a full review of the app in the future. Okay, to recap my October portfolio update. So the value of my SIP was £6,148.33. My ISA, £3,975.84, and the total value of my Vanguard portfolio was £10,124.17p, with a total year-to-date increase of 25.15%. Right, so let's take a look at my portfolio. So I thought I'd do the update slightly differently to what I normally do on the laptop, and instead I'm going to use my smartphone so you can see what Vanguard looks like should you need to look at it on your mobile phone. So let's take a look at the Vanguard homepage. So as you can see there, the portfolio value is £11,236.34, the pension at £6,638.39, and the ISA at £4,597.96. So if we take a look at the pension first, as you can see there, there's a return of 30.63% with a total gain of over £1,000. So nothing's changed here, just as I would normally do. I'm continuing to add £100 every single month into this account, and then I get the benefit of the tax relief, which would be £25 every single month. So as you can see there, I've so far in this tax year personally put in £820, and the tax relief I've got back there is £205. So there's nothing major to report really as far as the SIP goes, other than the fact that the returns are skyrocketing with a value increase of £490 and 6p. And I'm continuing to invest in the Life Strategy 100 fund with Vanguard. So let's go back and look at the ISA. So the value of the ISA, £4,597.96, which is an increase of £622 and 12p. Now, you can't complain about that really, can you? With a personal rate of return of 33.44%. It is genuinely mind-boggling. It's interesting because quite often I will cite an 8% return on videos that I make. And quite often people would say, you know, that's ridiculous, it's unreasonable, it's not realistic over the long term. So I've continuously got quite a high rate of return. Now, I know, as I said earlier, that is off the back of just happening to time at the correct time when the markets were on the increase. But these are consistent results, and I'm dollar cost averaging, so it's not necessarily all about the timing of the market. But, you know, I know full well I'm not going to continue to get these returns. I know that. Over the long term, 20, 30, or potentially 40 years of investing, I understand full well that 30% is not a realistic target to always get. However, I do truly believe they're getting 8 or plus, potentially 10, 12% with an aggressive equity fund that you invest in. With dollar cost averaging, you can get these consistent returns. I'm just going to enjoy and relish in the fact that these returns continue to happen. Yes, I might be buying at a higher premium, so obviously the cost of the fund is higher as the market increases, but I'm accepting it, and I'm not going to try and time the market whatsoever. As soon as I start getting to that mindset of trying to time the market, I've failed. I'm not going along with the system that I've agreed with myself from the beginning when I started investing. It's not about gambling, this is about consistent investing over the long term. So if we take a look at the investments then, so like I alluded to earlier, I've got the S&P 500 in there, and that's at 10.10% return. There's only a little bit in there, so it's £434.91. And like I said, that is just to build up a fund whereby in the future we can buy, my partner and I, buy investment properties. It's quite nice to see 2 in there, mixes it up a little bit of variety. The fact that I do these updates every single month means that I have to look at my investments and kind of not necessarily analyze it, because I'm not going to go into too much depth into what I do. It's very visual, I can see there, but rather than it just being consistently in the Life Strategy 100, there's a bit more to look at and track over time. So, of course, the Life Strategy 100% equity fund is in there as well, and that values at $3,693. So it's nice to see they're both in the green there, and in the right direction. Let's take a look at the performance then of the Life Strategy 100 equity fund. Right, so as you can see, there's a lot of green and there's a lot of upward direction, which is what we want. So that's over the last year. So as you can see, where the green points are, that's when I've purchased the fund. So the average unit cost at the moment from what I've purchased is £270.93, with the current price being 303.22. So when I make my next purchase of this fund in a couple of days, the end of the month, I'll be buying at that higher price, and obviously that will bump up the average. But that is what happens when you dollar cost average. So that's the Life Strategy 100. And let's take a look at the past performance there. So you can see from 2016 up to 2021, on average, it's up. Yes, there was one year, 2019 to 2020, when it was down 0.7%. But overall, really good returns. And this year in particular, 23.54%. Can't complain about that. Right, let's go take a look at the S&P 500. So if we go to investments and the VUSA fund. So again, heading in the right direction. Obviously the S&P 500 tracking the top 500 companies in America, which essentially, when you buy this, you're basically buying the entire stock market in the US, and historically always on the rise. And as you now know, it's at record highs. So me buying into this fund in particular, I bought it at a time where it's on the rise. So if I bought it, a year ago, it'd be up significantly. But again, we're not timing the market. We're just going to purchase it and continuously every single month add to the account. So the average unit cost that I've purchased so far is £62.13, and the current price is £66.35. And if we look at the past performance of the S&P 500, or the VUSA Vanguard tracker of the S&P 500, increasingly very, very good returns as of 2016. So if you're considering investing in the US stock market, the S&P 500 is clearly giving great returns. Now, that's not me giving you any advice to invest in anything. This is what I do. Please, none of this is financial advice. I just want to show you what it looks like, and in particular what it looks like on the mobile phone as well. And it's great actually, because Vanguard have done a pretty good job, even though they don't have an app. They've done an alright job of translating from the laptop to the desktop to a smartphone. So, it hopefully prevents you from checking your investments every single day. I'm getting better at not looking at the investments. Certainly not every single day. I know when I first started it was all exciting and I was doing it every single day just to see what was happening. I'm now trying to get in the habit of doing it once a month, at the very most really, just for these updates, just so that I can see where my investments are at, review if there's anything I need to change. Not that I think I will, but I know it's there. I'm treating it more as just like a pension, what it was before I even considered investing. It's in the background. I know, it's going to go up over the long term, but worrying too much about the numbers every single day is only going to have a detrimental effect to my mindset when it comes to investing. So back to the overview then, and I must say I'm pretty happy this month. So month to date return is £1,112.17 up from last month. So great returns, and I can only hope that going forward this continues to happen. But hey, either way, I'm going to be investing every single month. Okay, so there you go, my investment portfolio as of November 2021. I hope you find these videos informative, or at the very least, slightly interesting. And if they are, please support the channel by liking this video and subscribing as well. It helps the channel grow, and I plan to move forward and upgrade all my equipment so that I can give you better quality video going forward. So thanks again for watching. See you next month for the next update.